Here is what nobody tells you about weight loss. It is not just about eating less and working out more anymore. That theory, that method is long gone. It is truly about what's going on with your hormones, your mindset, your nervous system, and ultimately your daily habits. Trust me, I spent years in this cycle feeling like I was doing all the right things, working out hard, dieting, low carbs, no sugar, no cheat days, like doing everything I possibly could, and I just did not understand because I was tired, I plateaued, I was bloated, my skin wasn't good, my hair wasn't good, like I look completely different than I do now. You can truly see the glow up from even 4 or 5 years ago till now. And if you've ever thought, why is my body not responding anymore? Trust me, you're not crazy. You just need the real strategy to start implementing. So today I am going to walk you through 10 weight loss secrets that I really wish that someone coached me through and taught me a lot sooner. I made my way here on this journey really by myself, just educating myself as I've gone on through the years. But now I have it down pat. I am telling you all of the things that helped move the needle. And what has helped me sculpt muscle, burn fat, and made me feel good, happy, and confident in my body again. So let's dive into it. This is the first real big shift that changed everything. I used to thought that I had to be in a caloric deficit all the time or else I would not lose weight. I really did believe that more restriction equaled more results. This is a little bit of a controversial topic because you'll see it all the time in magazines, on social media, that you need to be in a caloric deficit if you want to lose weight. And yes, I get it. You want to burn more calories than you are consuming. Logically, yes, that makes sense, but we cannot forever, every single day of the week, every single day of the year, be in a caloric deficit. The female hormones do not respond well to that. That is at least my take. We need to be eating differently at different points in our cycle. And you could even go so far as to say that we need to cycle our phases of being in a caloric deficit for a few weeks and then being in a maintenance phase for a few weeks and going back and forth. The thing about the human body is that it adapts. So after doing the same thing over and over and over again, your body eventually adapts. That's why it is good to change things up from time to time, to challenge your metabolism, to get it revved up and working again, and also making sure that you're balancing out your hormones in your nervous system so it doesn't always feel like it's in fight or flight. I do want to give you an example so you understand what I'm talking about in terms of the phases. So if you want to look at it even in a month's time, doing 2 weeks during your follicular and your ovulatory phase of a deficit, because during that time we have more energy stores, our bodies are feeling good, but then when we get into that luteal phase and menstrual, your body starts to go into its nesting phase. We don't want to stress it out by not giving it the food and the nutrition that it needs every single day. So maybe during those 2 weeks, you're going back to your maintenance phase and not being in that deficit, and then you would cycle back into the deficit. Most people do it actually on like longer term basis. They will go in a deficit for 6 to 8 weeks and then go into the maintenance phase, but that's a whole video for another day. We got 9 more topics to talk about. I used to think that sleep was nice to have, something that I would catch up on later, but poor sleep quality is sabotaging your body's ability to burn fat, just so you know. Here is exactly why. When you are not getting good quality sleep, your cortisol is going up and your leptin is going down. Leptin is your fullness hormone, so what that means is you're going to have more cravings, less willpower, slower recovery, and higher fat storage, especially in the areas where you tend to hold on to more fat. But once I started prioritizing 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep a night, going to bed at the same time, putting my phone away at 8 p.m., having my nighttime supplements, my rest and digest, and my magnesium, this is when I saw the results. I was waking up less bloated, more energy. I was actually excited because I felt good and was energized to get up, go outside in the morning, do my workout, do all of the things. You know, when you wake up and you didn't get a good sleep, the last thing you literally want to do is go work out. It's not happening, and even if you do, you're not able to give that workout like your full power, full energy, and make it as effective as you could if you had proper sleep the night before. So if you're not focusing on sleep and you're wondering why your fat loss is stalling, trust me, babe, start here. Here's the truth, cardio helped me shrink. I definitely did lose weight when I was really dialed in and focused on cardio. I was running 5 to 8 kilometers, 4 to 5 times a week. I was doing sprints every single time I was at the gym. I was on the elliptical, I was doing spin class. I didn't know any better. This was back in the day before I really got educated on how strength training is really what gives you that sculpted, beautiful, toned look. But while I was really just focused on cardio, I did not understand, like, how can I be running so much and still not be toned, still not be skinny, still not have the body that I want. And then when I started doing strength training 3 to 4 times a week, that is when I saw the results, people. Oh yes. That is when my body completely changed. I started gaining lean muscle. I could literally feel my metabolism revved up and working. I was seeing curves where I wanted them, and I was just more defined even at the same weight. That's what usually happens. Even if the scale is not moving, it is very much so still possible that we are dropping fat and building muscle. Strength training does give you that sculpted athletic look. It is not going to get you bulky, ladies, I promise you that. It is more so about creating that muscle underneath, so when that fat comes off on top of the muscle, we are looking strong and snatched. And my app Shape is here to help you. We have strength training, we have Pilates, we have mobility, everything that you need in a week, but really, yes, focusing in on that strength training so that we can feel confident in our skin. This next one had me shook. I used to think that I needed to be dripping in sweat if the workout were to count and even be a good, effective workout at all. I would do an hour to an hour and a half of training, conditioning, HIIT classes, like all the things. And then sometimes I would even do 2 a days. And I was completely, first of all, getting injured. Second of all, burning out and just feeling drained. But then when I discovered the magic, like it's literally magic of walking, everything completely changed. Walking helped keep my cortisol low. It is so great for mental health. It kept my digestion regular. That is when everything also started to spin with everything that was happening with my digestion. Like it was so bad, I was so bloated, I couldn't go to the bathroom. Make sure to check out that video here, how I healed my gut. Very important video to watch. And walking also helped keep my fat burning steady. No stress, no joint pain, and no recovery days needed. You can walk literally every single day. It's also a great tool if you are vacationing and can't stay on top of your workouts, just making sure that you're getting your steps in for that week you are away. It is amazing, but again, aiming for 10,000 steps a day. If you're only at 2,000 to 3,000, maybe start with 7,000 and work your way up to 10, but you're going to notice, especially in the lower body, how walking really optimizes fat burning. You can't tone what doesn't exist. For so long, I wanted toned arms, toned legs, sculpted abs, but toning equals muscle plus having a low enough body fat percentage in order to see it. That's really what it is. So if you want to get toned, like you actually need to put in the work. You need to build the strength in your body. And yes, through strength training, like we mentioned before, but also get your ankle weights on. I promise you, if you do one of my Pilates flows with ankle weights on and 3-pound weights, you are going to feel muscles that you have never felt before. Sometimes those mat Pilates series are harder for people than our sculpt sessions, which is more weight-based training. So making sure you are getting different styles of training that both have the overall same goal of building that muscle. You need to build the shape first and then lose the fat to reveal it. Alcohol had a bigger impact on my results than I even really realized. Even drinking 1 or 2 drinks 2 to 3 times a week seriously messed up my results, and it isn't just about the calories. It's actually not about the calories for me at all. I'm not a big calorie counter. It's about the way that alcohol actually affects your liver and your body's ability to burn fat. It also disrupts sleep. When I drink even a glass of wine, I am waking up multiple times in the night. It is the most annoying thing. Increases cravings. We all know when we're hungover, we just want to eat like crap. and definitely stalls your recovery. And I'm not talking recovery from a hangover, I'm talking your body's ability to repair that muscle tissue after a workout. But once I started cutting it back and really only drinking on special occasions or when I had that urge to, which maybe once every couple weeks, that really helped me cut down, lean out, sculpt fully from head to toe, even my face. Like my face used to be so much puffier. I was drinking way more often throughout the week versus now. Even if I go out for dinner during the week, I'm most likely, unless I've just like, you know, when you have a week and you just want a cocktail that you just want to enjoy, like I will always do it. I will never say no when I truly want to do something. But most of the time, I just don't want to do it anymore. I save it for when I'm like, okay, we are going in tonight, we're going to a concert, to a special event. This weekend, there's a few big things going on in Miami, it's F1. Yeah, maybe on Saturday night, I am gonna have a few cocktails, but I'm not gonna repeatedly do it all of the time. Not only again for a calorie weight loss thing, it just doesn't make me feel good. And why am I going to do something that doesn't make me feel my best? If fat loss is your goal, then alcohol is an honest conversation that you need to have with yourself. Most women are still under eating protein. Even when I thought that I was, you know, kind of up there with my protein count and eating a high protein diet, I quickly realized one day when I actually was monitoring and like tracking how many grams of protein I was having in that day, that I was nowhere freaking close. We want to think about having 0.8 to 1 grams of protein per pound. So for example, I am 115 pounds-ish. I want to aim for 115 grams of protein a day. So we want to aim for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, having 30 grams of protein in all three of those meals, if not more. Even 40 grams is more ideal because then you're relying less on your snacks getting you the protein for the remainder of those like missing grams. But once I started to also incorporate, okay, let's get that collagen coffee. We're going to add in a protein smoothie. Let's get in a Chomp's beef stick. Let's add protein powder to my yogurt. All of these different like methods, when you're really aware of it, you start subconsciously like putting it more into your diet. We need the protein to help build lean muscle, which again is going to burn fat and then give us that toned and lean look. Better recovery, fewer cravings, more muscle tone. Trust me, it works. High cortisol was silently working against me. I had no idea how much chronic stress was affecting my overall body composition. When we are stressed, our body is inflamed. That is just the immune response to cortisol. Like I mentioned, I was overtraining, undereating, working out way more than I was now. I had poor sleep, constant anxiety. I was just stressed out by life. This was more so prominent when I was living in Toronto. It was something about being in that city that I just, you know, when you feel connected to a city, you arrive somewhere and you're like, I belong here. I didn't feel that way with Toronto. I think that I'm actually an island girl. I need the ocean, the sun, the sand. Like that's just my personality, who I am. And so I had this like chronic anxiety all the time. And I do really believe that that was one thing that was really stopping me from seeing the results and getting my body the way that I wanted it to get. I actually have a full video on YouTube why cortisol may be the reason why you're not losing weight. So make sure to watch it here after this video. But what helped me most was really calming my nervous system. We all need to start there. If you are hyper stressed, you're never going to see the results that you want to see. It all begins with the mindset, the mindfulness, the walking, slowing down, stop rushing, stop like if you have too many things going on in your life, you really need to start prioritizing like what is actually worth it for you, because there are other areas of your life that are being affected by this. It's really about finding a good balance and figuring out ways to be calm, to be grounded, and to be like in that soft girl era. Weight loss is not just a physical journey, it is totally emotional. I had to stop tying my worth to a number on the scale. I had to stop eating out of punishment and moving my body out of punishment, meaning I would, eat a burger, go for sushi with friends, and then think that I needed to work out double the next day to burn off those calories. No, when I started to nourish my body, fuel my body, feel energized, and completely changed the approach to diet and movement, that is when everything really shifted for me. It's that mindset shift from control to support. It's really what made my results stick. I really did stop obsessing and started showing up with self-control, with respect, with confidence, and trust. Trust is so important. Trust your body that it knows what to do once you have that right mindset and you're doing the physical movement that aligns with that. You cannot hate yourself into a body that you love, and I wish I knew that sooner. If one of these points made something click for you, then let me know below. I always love hearing from you what resonated, and maybe even share this one with a friend. This is a great one to share to motivate someone to start incorporating and implementing healthy habits that will actually help them see the results and get the dream body that they always wanted. Thank you again for being here, and make sure to check out my latest video, how to look hot as hell at the gym. See you next time.